Shalom, welcome to Raw on the Rock. Today I want to look at a passage from 1 John that seems at first blush to contradict what we read in John 3:16. There we read, "For God so loved the world," etc. And here in 1 John it says, "Do not love the world." What do? Do we love the world or not? Let's have a look. So here we are looking at 1 John 2:15, and it reads, "Do not love the world, nor the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him." Well, how are we to understand this passage when in just a few videos ago we looked at John 3:16, arguably the most famous Bible verse, "For God so loved the world." There we learn that God loved the world. Here it tells us, "Do not love the world." And this is the same writer. What do? How do we reconcile these? We can't compare the Greek verbs. They're both from the verb agapa or agapao. And the word for world here is kosmos. It's the same. However, if we remember back to what we learned and observed about John 3:16, that the aspect of the verb love in the Greek was what we call perfective or completed aspect. God loved the world in this way, that he gave. Both he loved and he gave were in a completed, what we call perfective aspect. The verb here, although it still is from the verb agapao, it is in the continual aspect. Do not be loving the world. And if anyone loves or is continuing to love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So what's the difference? The appropriate love for the world was expressed perfectly and beautifully in what God did, as it is expressed in John 3:16. We cannot replicate that love. We cannot love the world the way the Father loved perfectly and gave perfectly his love. There is no object of our love in what is the world or the things of the world. Our love is for God and for one another. But we do not love the things of the world. So there's no contradiction between God loving the world in John 3:16 in a perfective, completed way, expressed in his giving of his Son, as we studied in that video. No contradiction between that verse and what we see here in the first epistle of John, telling us not to love the world. We cannot replicate the Father's love for the world expressed in his giving of his only begotten Son. We cannot do that. So, as his children, we learn to abide in his love, to love him and love one another. That is the limit and horizon and definition of our love. But the world as an object or any of the things that are in the world are not appropriate objects or recipients of our love. The Father and one another. That's it. I hope this is a blessing to you. Shalom.